Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Siti Sarah Farhanah binti Mazlin from CS2513B. So today, we would like to present about the topic 6, which is overview of system and network management for network security issues and firewall. Now, I will start the presentation with the security issues. Commonly, security issues can be described when a site might have been hacked or used in ways that could potentially harm a visitor or the device, or vulnerabilities are witnessed in a security. We know that when we are connected to the internet connection, we have the potential to be attacked by the security issues. But bear in your mind, even we have that potential to be attacked, but they are still have the bunch of the solution to prevent it. Now, we continue to the common security issues. There are a lot of the common security issues that happen in our daily life, but today, I would like to highlight 3 issues in this presentation. First, phishing. Phishing can be described as attack over the sensitive data such as password, username, credit card, and numbers. Second, malware. It causes extensive damage to the data and system or to gain unauthorized access to a network. Lastly, this is the common happen in our society, which is hacking. Hacking is an illegal user tries to access private information. It can be done by using Trojan horse and logic bombs. So, we go to the phishing. Phishing is the most common crime that attack the user. Phishing is designed to steal sensitive data such as passwords, usernames, credit card numbers, and other personal information. These attacks impersonate reputable websites, banking institutions, and personal contacts that come in the form of instant message or phishing emails. It's designed to appear legitimate. Once you hit the reply or click the embedded URL in the message, you will be prompted to use your credentials or enter your financial details, which then sends your information to the malicious source. So, how does the attacker do? Firstly, the attacker sends an email to the victim. Then, the victim are click on the email. In this case, the victim may not suspicious or put the bad assumption as the email is exactly same with the legitimate as they think. Maybe it is such a common thing to update the information. When the user click on it, it may link to the phishing website. The victim fill in all the information given and here how the attacker collect the data from the victim. If it is successful submit, the attacker use the victim information to access a legit website. As a user, how to avoid phishing? Phishing can be avoided by we put extra careful when opening any link that contains in an email. Secondly, never download any attachment for an unknown source. And for the lastly, if there is a ton of misspelled words or informer in the email, it may be best to stray towards cautions. Here are some of the example of the phishing. At the left side, it shows that the attacker spamming phishing via a link of the message, while at the right side, it shows the same of the web page, but with the different link. As we can see, at the right side, it is the legit website, as the link is straightforward, while at the black side, it shows the phishing email, as the link is not straightforward, as they cannot be exactly same with the legit website. Now, we continue to the malware. Malware is typically consists of code developed by the cyber attackers. It is designed to cause extensive damage to the data and the system, or to gain unauthorized access to a network. Typically, it delivers in the form of a link or file over email and requires the user to click on the link or open the file to execute the malware. If the user involved in this, it may install an application that captures keystroke or command system resources, as it usually running without our consent and is slowing down our system. Besides, there is blocking access to file, programs, or even the system itself. Sometimes it's forcing the user to make a payment to regain the access back, and it also bombarding a browser or desktop with ads. In this malware, it consists of several types of malware, which is ransomware, spyware, Trojan horse, adware, worm, and botnets. Now, we are focusing for the ransomware, which is one of the types of the malware. To make it short, ransomware is a form of the malware that locks a user computer and demands a ransom payment to unlock it again, as it can be delivered to a computer if a user clicks on the link that contains the malware. It often resembles a phishing attack as it attempts to gather personal information like passwords, banking details, credit card numbers, or even social security numbers. And it also involves a scammer sending emails that can appear harmless and typically ask the recipient to click a link or download a file. Actually, these messages look like they are from a legitimate, trustworthy sources, but once the recipient clicks or downloads, the hacker gains access to the user computers. This is really looks same like phishing because it begins as a phishing attack, but it goes a step further in inciting panic that may urge users to quickly take the hacker desired action. Once a user has clicked a link or download a file, the ransomware frees their computer. It then attempts to blackmail the user into paying money for the scammer to return back the personal information that been stolen. Here are some tips to prevent potential ransomware attacks. Firstly, we can keep the computer patched and up to date, use an antivirus scanner, use a firewall, don't click the links, practice safe browsing habits, and backup our files. Next, we proceed to the hackers, which is the last of the common security issues. Hackers actually gaining unauthorized access into a computer system or a group of computer systems. It's done through the cracking of passwords and code which give access to the system. It's commonly the hacker use phishing or Trojan horse virus as a hacking technique. Who is the common target for the hacker? It can be the IT security firm as they can be the challenging for them. Secondly, high profile target. It is for the notoriety. Third, it can be the website because it can get a lot of their money, especially the e-commerce sites. And lastly, it's for the vulnerable individuals because it is easy to hack. How does the hacker can insult the victim? It can be they inform you that someone has been trying to log into your website and you should update your credentials. Or they claim that there is a problem in your account or you need to update the payment information. They also ask you to confirm some personal information and include a fake invoice to avoid your suspicions. Then, it informs you that you are eligible to register for a state or federal refund. Sometimes they offer you such a free stuff to attract your interest. Why it happened? It happened because sometimes we are using the open Wi-Fi. The open Wi-Fi is actually the connections are not encrypted and therefore it is not secure from the hackers. Sometimes we are not using two-factor authentications because 2FA is actually help our password in combining with something else like a code text from the phones. It gives a huge advantage in fight against the hackers. Or maybe we are using the easy password as it is easy to guess. And this one is actually the common things that happen in our society, which is we are using the same password on multiple accounts. So this is how to stay safe. 1. We can use encrypted communication data. Second, this is the most important thing. We do not have to click the suspicious link. Third, we need to keep our software up to date. And fourth, avoid public computer and free Wi-Fi unless it is a secure network. Next, we have to use firewall, high security settings, and antivirus or anti-spyware software. For the lastly, we have to avoid sharing personal information online. Why a user can involve in these security issues? Usually, the user not alert over their connections. Here, I have stated a few reasons why the user can involve in this. Firstly, it is because the user are lacking of the firewalls, as the firewalls actually manage to block certain types of network access and data from leaving the network or being accessed from the outside of the network. Secondly, Open wireless network. This is the most reason why the user can involve in this, as the hacker have the ability to access every piece of the information by sending out on the internet. Lastly, it is the most common thing the user do, which is by clicking the random link. Clicking an unknown link on any device can put on a risk as it intended to damage or disable the device. If you got malware or virus on your device, this scammer could retrieve your password, your payment data, and have access to all your files. Nowadays, even malware exists is capable of switching off your antivirus software. The programs you download are usually set up to monitor all your online activities, and most then share your personal information with third parties. Depending on the spyware, this personal info can include financial account and credit card information, online account access information, and even medical information. It is a must to stop going to unknown websites and clicking a random link even if it comes from your friends, because their account is probably hacked and the link will get you into the trouble. Now, I will highlight regarding the open wireless network. Hacker can also use an unsecure Wi-Fi connections to distribute malware. If you allow file sharing across a network, the hacker can easily plant infected software on the computer. By using the open Wi-Fi, they have a lot of the attacker. The attacker can be man-in-the-middle attack, fake connections, and also the packet sniffing. Lastly, if you want to use open wireless network, we have to enable the firewall, turn off the file sharing, use antivirus software and ensure it is up to date, and for the last, we need to use virtual private network or VPN to keep data encrypted in transit.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Aina Salsabila Herniza. To continue our discussion for this topic, I'm going to explain more about firewall. A firewall is a security device. Firewall is a hardware, software, and a combination of both used to prevent unauthorized program or help protect the network by filtering traffic and blocking outsider from gaining unauthorized access to the private data on device. Firewall have applicability in network where there is no internet connectivity. Okay, for the example, let's say computer network, we consider it as a home, and as a home, it will have many windows and doors. Only the front doors of the house is used to allow guests to enter the house. Since the main door is always wide open, means even thieves can enter easily. Okay, same with our computer. Without a firewall, the computer is accessible and easily hacked by any party. Here, the firewall is a program where it will be control every activity that access the computer. Okay, back to our examples. The firewall, we can consider it as our main gate of the house, which means it will allow only people who get permission from house owner to give them to allow them to enter the house. So it will prevent any uninvited people or guests to enter the house. There are three types of firewalls, which is packet filtering firewall, application level firewall, and circuit level gateway. For packet filtering firewall, a network security technique that is used to control data flow to and from a network. During network communication, a node transmits a packet that is filtered and matched with predefined rules and policies. Once matched, a packet is either accepted or denied. Packet filtering checks source and destination IP addresses. If both IP addresses match, the packet is considered secure and verified. because the sender may use different application and programs. Packet filtering also check source and destination protocols such as user datagram protocols and control protocols. Packet filters also verify source and destination port addresses. Packet filtering is usually an effective defense against attack from computers outside a local area network. As most routing devices have integrated filtering capabilities, packet filtering is considered a standard and cost-effective means security. For second type, application level firewall, evaluate network packets for valid data at the application layer before allowing a connection. Application layer firewall use a series of configured policies to determine whether to block or allow a communication to or from an app. Traditional firewall control data flow to and from the CPU, examining each packet as it passes through. An application firewall takes it further by controlling the execution of files or code by specific application. This way, even if an intruder gains entry to a network or server, they can execute malicious code. Application firewall can be active or passive. For active application firewall actively inspect all incoming requests. For passive application firewalls act in a similar way to an intrusion detection system in that they also inspect all incoming requests against known vulnerabilities, but they don't actively reject or deny those requests if a potential attack is discovered. For next, circuit level gateway, a type of firewall that provides session level control over network traffic. For example, when user web page access request passes through the circuit gateway, basic internal user information such as IP address is exchanged for proper feedback. Then the profile server forward the request to the web server. Upon receiving the request, the external server sees the process server's IP address, but does not receive any internal user information. The web or real server send the proxy server a proper response, which is forwarded to the client or end user via the circuit level gateway. Differences between hardware and software firewalls. For hardware firewalls, first is protect an entire network. Next, it is implemented on the router level and usually more expensive and also harder to configure. Meanwhile, a software firewall is protect a single computer only and usually less expensive and easier to configure.
So, do you know how firewall works? Firewall carefully analyze incoming traffic based on pre-established rule and filter traffic coming from insecure or suspicious source to prevent attacks. And if an incoming packet of information, which is small chunk of data, is flagged by the filter, is it not allowed through packet that's made it through the filter are sent to risk question system and all other are discharged. So basically, firewall actually as a defensive border by helping to protect your computer by hacker. So you should know that firewall has 3 rules. The first one is allow. Allow defined as traffic that flow automatically as it has been dimmed. The second one is block, which is traffic that is blocked as has been deemed dangerous to the device. And the last one is ask. Ask is the user whether or not the traffic is allowed to pass through the firewall. So what firewall can do? The first one is focus for security decision, which is stop hacker from accessing the device. The second is can enforce security policy, which protect personal information. And the third one is limit exposure, which block pop-up advertisement and curtain cookies. After that is can log internet activity efficiently, which is determine which program can access the internet. And what firewall can do with the first one is Firewall can protect against malicious insider. The second is can protect against connection that don't go through it. After that is can protect against completely new threat, and the last one is can protect against virus. So why do we need a firewall? Firewall can provide protection against outside cyber attacker by shielding the computer or network from malicious or unnecessary network traffic. It also can prevent malicious software from accessing a computer or network via the internet. And the other is it can monitor inbound and outbound activity coming from the network for suspicious activity, blocking items that are considered dangerous based on a set of security rules.